As I said during my speech also, that I think we need to educate people. As I say always, that Nagaland is a society in transition. People still are getting used to the modern system of laws and authorities. Yes, there are some traditional powers which are available, but those powers also are limited. And even in those powers, even as per the Administration of Justice and Police Act of Nagaland, those powers are very limited. That is one aspect where the villages and the village councils and the GPs, the washis need to understand where their power starts, where it ends. But besides that power that they have, I think the broader power which exists is for all civilians within, or every citizen within the country, or every person within the country who has the power and the authority to intervene if there is a crime taking place. So, but as I said, that power to intervene is only limited to catching a person committing a crime and then bringing him to the police station or informing the police. I think I would request and I would appeal to all civil societies and everybody in Nagaland to help us in combating crimes in general and NDPS crimes in particular. And whenever you catch someone, I'm not saying don't catch it, but when you catch someone, please inform the police. Let the police take over the investigation and find out other linkages. Without casting aspersions on any civil society or a group of persons or an individual. You will always have black sheep in various parts of the society where people will catch something and they will take money. And फैसला अवश्य करो, ये तो फैसला हुआ ही दिखता रहा तो पूरा हुआ दो. I think if people should be encouraged to report to the police. Rest assured that Nagaland Police will stand with you, and we have enough amount of time which we can spare for tackling any crime in the state, and if required we will devote more resources to it. But I think people should not take law into their own hands without trying to say be very harsh or issue a warning or anything. I think certain acts, like if you catch someone and you put him in a room for say 2 hours or 4 hours or keep him under detention, these are also crimes per se. Okay, so if someone, it's just that in Nagaland, a person who has been arrested or kept under detention has not questioned it. If he files an FIR, then the person who is actually trying to take good action is also committing a crime. So my request is, please, if you come to know of a crime or a criminal or a drug addict or a peddler, please inform us immediately after taking action. We will intervene, we will take action. That is my request.
Kohima need more rehabs, and is the police coming up with any, your own rehab centers in Kohima?
See, I'm not aware of what is the current status of rehab centers and all. 1 or 2 exist which have been doing a decent job. But if we go by the number of, users and abusers in Nagaland, I think that number of users is too high. Even if it is around 30,000, we do not have capacity for handling 30,000 users. So there is definitely a need for improving our facilities for dealing with the users of drug abuse. I think, but all these figures that we are saying, some of the figures come from the Department of Social Justice. Some of them are coming from institutions like Kripa and all. But I think we need to, that's why where I said that people need to report to us, whether it is civil societies or police or NGOs, we need to report to us. Only when we know what is the magnitude of the problem, we will be able to assess what additional facilities we need, whether that is in police or by way of creation of rehab centers or by employment of extra doctors or paramedics or counselors. So unless we have exact figures, it will just be shooting in the dark to find out what best we can do.
So why do you think Nagaland is very high in this drug using?
I think Nagaland is high. I can't think of a reason why Nagaland is high, but I think easy availability is one thing. And traditionally, in most societies, things like ganja or opium also have had medicinal value. Now, people need to realize, like, even when we were children, our parents may have given us a little bit of dose of opium for, say, some fever or something, but that doesn't make me an addict. So people need to realize that even if there were medicinal uses of ganja or of opium or things like that, that has to be done under medical supervision and limited. It cannot be that it is available and we say that we need to realize that when any government or any legislature thinks that it will criminalize an act. Okay, for example, criminalizing the use or abuse or trafficking of opium or ganja. If the legislature or the government is doing it because it feels that it is detrimental to the society. So once it is criminalized, I think everybody in the society, including in Nagaland, needs to realize that it is wrong. And if it is wrong and not wrong because someone likes it, wrong because it is wrong for the society. And people need to actually correct themselves and bring themselves to the modern way of law which has been enacted. Not be able to give you the exact figures, but it is more than 65 people, and there are a lot of others who are under watch. So we could have caught much more, but we are very careful in not catching actually the users per se, but catching the sellers. We have been relatively successful, and more importantly than just catching the criminals or catching the peddlers. I think what we have been able to do with the help of Nagaland government is some of the ones who have been involved in trafficking or peddling of slightly higher quantities of drugs, we have been able to detain them under preventive detention. So that has been a very conscious decision. It's not like we are detaining someone for 1,000 kgs, but people who are even trafficking were found with 500 grams or more. We are trying that we should get them detained under preventive detention, which could mean anything between 3 months to 6 months, depending. How that helps is that trafficking network is taken out of circulation for that period. So that disrupts that network. So that way, the sort of drug peddling instances have come down because the message also goes around that you will not get bail and you will be put under preventive detention. So from our side, we are doing our best.
Sir, have you been dealing with the sunflower abuse among the students?
Not really. See, we haven't come across. We came across one or two students, but we've been very, very careful not to allow it to be stigmatized. We are even in students, when a few cases have come to our knowledge, we have been very careful that we just talk to the students and find out from where they have been buying and trying to catch the peddlers or the traffickers, not the students per se.
Sir, how many police personnel has been undergoing those drugs illegal user so far from the department?
Again, I will not be able to give a correct exact figure, but it should be around 10. Again, that 10 figure is also because those 10 are not only users, but they are also peddlers. Okay, so we have been also careful that we should not catch the users, because the user, as I said, is a victim. So a lot of our own police personnel have come forward and said that all their family members have informed us that someone is taking a drug. So we have been very liberal and say, okay, you go for rehab. So a lot of people have also gone for rehab because of our